What's up, y'all? So today we're here. We're going to be talking about how I grew my Instagram from 1,900 followers to 30,000 followers in less than 6 months. Let's get into it. So, man, last year in 2024, around November, December, one of my goals going into 2025 was to grow my brand and my business. And one of those things was social media, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. My sole focus was Instagram and TikTok. So December of 2024, I had a lot of downtime from my wedding season. So I was scrolling through Instagram and I found this content creator named Kaya. And she said that she was batching content and was informing other people, to batch your content. And what I mean by that is making so much content so you're ahead of posting where you won't get burned out. So all of December, I spent every day making 31 videos. So by January 1st, I have 31 videos already to post. And it's just lined up. I have 31 videos in a folder, just post one every day. Simple as that. So came December, made all 31 videos. January 1st, I started my first video. Now, during the month of January, I continued to make more videos for the next coming months of February, March. But during just being that consistent, posting every day for January, I started seeing growth, not even from just Instagram following, but also just in like my editing skills. When you start doing something every single day, you start learning more and more and more and getting better and better and better. So in December, when I was making those 31 videos, after making 31 videos, you're going to learn something. You're going to improve somewhere somehow. By the time January came and I was making content for February, I can already see the difference in like the editing style and the editing of my videos because I'm working at it every single day. And I didn't even know that was something that was going to come of it. So just also doing that every day, I was getting better with that. But so January 1st to January 31st, I went from 1,900 to maybe 3,000 followers, I believe. I think I grew around 2,000 followers in 1 month just from posting consistent. Now, when I say post consistently and post 31 videos, I'm not talking about just posting random videos. Your videos have to have some type of information in them. What I learned from posting those 31 days was the reels that did the best for me was ones where I was giving information and teaching how to do something. And once I seen after those 31 days, I went and reevaluated. I was like, okay, this post did pretty well. This did pretty well, and this post did pretty well. And I realized those three posts in common. I was either teaching something or showing some type of behind the scenes. The rest of the videos they kind of flopped, and not every single video is gonna do well, and even not every single teaching video, information video is gonna do well. So what I learned the most was from that February and March, I was like, you know what? Since those teaching videos are doing well, I'm going to continue to make more of those and capitalize on that. So came February, I was like, or mid January when I was making content for February, I said, let me go ahead and focus more on some like teaching videos, teaching people how to get different angles, teaching how I did this, or showing myself behind the scenes. I see a lot of people love to see how things are created, and once you show that behind the scene aspect to it, it starts ramping up more, getting more shares, getting more likes. So January 1st through January 31st, it taught me one, what to post and what not to post, what to stay away from, and also picking a niche. So my niche is wedding filmmaking, the wedding industry, and I kind of trickled into like putting gear in there as well. So I can focus because that's even a broader audience. So you have other videographers, other photographers, and then of course brides and grooms, when they see that stuff, they see like how into it you are and kind of deem you like an expert or knowledgeable on the topic because you're just talking about so many different things used at weddings and stuff like that. So that's when I realized I didn't want to turn my whole page into a gear page because I know like I still want to appease my brides and my grooms. So it's kind of like a mixture of both and not one too heavy on one side and not on too heavy on the other side to appease both audiences. So figuring out your niche, and once figuring out your niche, just having that to go. Now back in December, I forgot to mention this. I actually had a planner, and in this planner, I wrote down 31 ideas that I wanted to make videos about. And the ideas come and go. There's people always ask, how do you come up with all these ideas, man? It's sometimes I'll rinse and repeat the same idea. Like I've made a video about how to get 3 angles, and I've made it maybe like 5 times now because that video just did so well. And every time I get more followers, some of those old followers didn't see that old stuff. So I was like, you know what, I can reuse that and re-implement it in a different way. And I may not use the same video, but I'll use a different video and show us 3 more angles and stuff like that. So yeah, so then February came, posted again for 31 days because I was already prepping my videos for February back in January. So February came, and again, the same videos that did well in January were the same ones that did well in February. Teaching something, and that's when I really realized, okay, teaching behind the scenes were going even crazier than my actual work the final product. And when I seen that, I even capitalized more on the behind the scenes. So the behind the scenes, I started like making it a cinematic behind the scenes. Like, so yeah, just like that, I even went further and beyond to make my behind the scenes seem even more cinematic. Putting the cinematic orchestra in the background with the violins and showcasing off the work and the behind the scenes and having the dialogue of me working. So started doing a lot more behind the scenes. I see it's working, and that appeases both videographers who wants to see how shots are getting done, and it also appeases my bridesmaids, my groomsmen, seeing how I work, how I talk to other people, and it all meshes together. So niching down, finding what works, and what works for me may not work for you, but I'm just want to tell you guys like what worked for me, and I've helped other people, and it's been working for them as well. So one thing, post consistently. You don't have to post every day, but I have a saying, or not even a saying, just a thing where like hard work beats talent. If you're posting 3 days a week and I'm posting every day, that gap is just I'm going to beat you by a lot. And I'm talking about, say we're on the same level. At some point, I'm posting every day. I'm learning more every day what works. I'm getting myself out there on the algorithm more. And if you're only posting 3 and I'm posting every day, in a year time, I'm going to start outgrowing you like crazy, and it's not gonna match up. And to say, like I said, you don't have to post every day, but me personally, if I can get myself out there every single day to show people the work, show people the behind the scenes and this and the third, I'm gonna do that over posting 3 times a day. Now, whenever you reach your goal of whatever you want to grow your account to, then you can maybe dial it back. Like, I don't have to post as often or whatnot. And I still try to make the quality that I push out there high quality, not just BS stuff. So like I said, that's when it just comes to batching. So even when you will get burnt out and you will get tired, but you'll get more burnt out if you don't batch. So right now we are in June. I have about 35 videos. From if I didn't make another video for the next 35 days, I would still have videos to post. Now, say like right now, say if I'm burnt out, I can go the next 20 days just to relax and not make any more videos, get my mind right, and just chill from filming and recording and editing, and I'll still be fine. And now I feel rejuvenated. I'm refreshened up. I have about 15, whatever the math is. I have about 15 more days before I run out of videos. Let's go start batching up again. And that's what I mean by batching. And if you get burnt out, you can at least take a break and not be so far behind. So I think March came, and it was either March or April. I had a video go viral. Let me find it real quick. It was April 7th. I had a video go viral. I posted it. It ended up getting 2.7 million 2.7 million views, and I ended up getting 16,000 new followers off of that one video. Back in January, just to go back, when I was back in January, I had another video go viral, and this was when I first started doing the content of like posting. I was posting with intention, and it was January 7th. The video hit 120,000 views, and I gained 1,700 new followers just from that one post, 7 days into my 31 days of posting consistently. And that's not by accident. That's not by luck. It's literally by, like I said, I took a whole month, wrote in my journal ideas that I wanted to do, wrote down the scripts, and everything, the B-roll. It was so much that went into it just to be intentional about just not tossing something out there just to toss out there for the sake of it. So yeah, once I did that, it was great. And I was like, man, 7 days in, I've never had a video go over 100,000 views. And that's when like I said, I grew from 1,900. I think I ended January with 3,000 followers. So once I seen that video, I kept replicating it for the next months. Not every single day, but once a week, try to drop a video similar to that. So now, fast forward April, like I said, I gained 16,000 new followers and I kept that momentum going. So after I seen, I was like, holy crap, my phone's going crazy. Stuff is going viral. I immediately changed the post I was going to post for the next day and I wanted to drop some more heat. So I dropped something that was another teachable moment. I think it was a video about 3 camera angles at a wedding, and it ended up getting like 50,000 views and even more followers. And then it just kept rolling and taking off and taking off. Once I seen that come April and I gained the 16,000 followers, I was like, holy crap, if I keep doing this, I will continue to grow. So I think in April I reached 10,000 followers, and then it grew to 11,000 the next day and kept just rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And now we are here in June, and I just hit 30,000 followers today. And I was just about to let off the gas with just posting. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try my best to continue to post the rest of the year. Now, the funny thing about that video that went super viral, 2.7 million views, when I say like being consistent, disciplined, being consistent, I'm not going to lie. I was starting to get a little lazy with batching. And I remember I was just coming home from a wedding. I was like, man, I need a post tomorrow because I posted 97 days straight. And I was like, I need to make a post for tomorrow, but I don't feel like it. It was like 12 o'clock at night. I need to make sure I post something the next day. And I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. I just created that video and posted it the next day, and it went crazy. Now imagine if I would have just said, oh, I'm too tired. I'll figure out something the next day. We'll post the next day or whatnot. Um, it just goes to show like you never know how close you are to the next hump. Like if I would have just been lazy that day, didn't have any discipline, and just said, you know what, I'm not gonna post. I'm just too tired. But no, I stuck past it. I said, you know what, I don't care if I'm tired. Let me still, like, I set my mind to do something, still did it, and the reward was crazy. So it was just crazy to even see that, man. If I would have just stuck in that mindset of being lazy and not fulfill my commitment, I would not have gained the traction and the success that came with it. Gaining that amount of followers and stuff like that, it wouldn't have happened. So that moment even happened. Like even now, if I have days where like, man, I don't feel like making content or I need to posting whatnot, you never know, that next post could be life changing for you. So continue to post. It's not easy at all. I know I make it seem easy. Other people make it seem easy. It's not easy at all. If it was easy, then everybody would do it. But if you want something bad enough, you'll be willing to put in the work, which is why I'm trying to challenge myself to post. I've never posted that long, for 6 months straight, every single day. I'm going to challenge myself to do it on Instagram and look back and see where I'm at 6 months ago. Like, man, I'm so glad I made a decision. And now I'm sitting at, I don't know, 50,000 or whatever, how many followers by December 31st. And like I said, it can be life changing. You start getting more business. You can start opening yourself up to brand deals. Start opening up stuff for you to myself to sell, memberships, all things like that, or even just building like a community. And it's just something to be proud of. Like you're growing a business, you're making a business, and just showing those steps. So I'm trying to be transparent, let you guys know what I do. It's like I said, it's not easy. I literally make videos, trying to think of ideas. I'm trying to go back. I stopped using this as much, but I find like I want to go back to using my journal and write down ideas. because it's just different. I don't want to put it in my phone anymore. I want to sit down and write it down, um, and write brief scripts or brief bullet point notes about what I want to talk about. And I feel like that helped me out the most. But man, that's the gist of it, man. Batching your content, staying consistent, finding a niche, stay within your lane. Don't post every single day about random stuff. Now, my my page is so flooded with wedding stuff and gear stuff. Like if I did want to post a random post out of the blue, it's not gonna jack my stuff up that much because everything else is flooded. But if you're posting random things every day, you're just not gonna grow us an audience specific for whatever you're trying to build because you're just posting random stuff. So my page, I attract more people that are getting married, engaged, a lot of videographers, a lot of other photographers because that's the audience that I post for. I post reviews, I post behind the scenes, I post camera gear that I use, lights that I use, I post engagement sessions, things of that nature. So those are the people that's gonna come to my page and watch. But man, thanks for watching. Like I said, hit 30,000 followers. I can't wait to see. I'm gonna make another video 6 months from now and see where I'm at. See y'all in the next one.